Hey guys, Jamie here, keeping it koi. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. So in today's video, what are we up to? I got a shower to plumb in. So before we crack on and get on with that, I'm just going to show you the few bits that I got from JS Koi Imports. Picked up my rubber 90, but obviously I'm going from flexi hose that's currently on the pond at the minute. Let me show you what I mean for those of you that are new to the channel. No, I'm going to have to go all the way around. Right, let me spin you around and I'll show you what I mean. So after the pump in the filter house, it's all hard piped up to that point, and then that's flexi hosed under the ground, and then one goes into the pond down there and the other one goes up into the Bakki shower on there. Look at that, mind your own business. Woo! Baby tears are doing really well there. But yeah, so that's the pipe work that I need to connect to the Bakki shower. So not only have I got the rubber 90 to connect, but I also picked up a what's that? Pipe connector, basically a straight connector that would normally connect a standard black waste 2-inch pipe to another black waste 2-inch pipe. But I'm not using black waste 2-inch pipe. Obviously I'm connecting straight from the flexi hose. So what I've done, if you've been following the channel for a while, during the actual pond build itself, you'll know that I glued a hose tail into that, and it's got a, I don't know if you guys can turn you that way, get you in the light, you might be able to see it, a damn good glue all the way around there, good seal, and again the same around that side. Look, a real nice seal around there. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a threaded tank connector. Not sure exactly what it's designed for, but it does the trick. They glue perfectly into there. Then my bit of flexi hose, I did have an offcut kicking about, but I don't know what I've done with it, but my flexi hose fits perfectly onto there. So the idea is, now where have I put the rubber boot? I'd lose my head if it weren't attached to me neck. Right, give me a second, I've put the rubber boot down next to the pond, there we go. But yeah, you'll see I'm stepping over bits at the minute because I'm getting ready to install it, and I've got other bits and bobs out at the minute. So yeah, anyway, rubber boot will go on here, and then this will go, if I can do it one-handed, probably not, there we go, just about on there like that, and then my hose tail will connect up to there. And I already had, didn't get that but from JKI, already had one kicking about, so that will then clamp my hose tail, my flexi hose, sorry, to the hose tail there. You can solvent weld this type of flexi hose. It's the really thick oase, blooming expensive stuff, but I'm not going to solvent weld it on there, just in case I decide to change bits in the future, or if I need to do anything, you know what I mean. So yeah, so I've got those bits ready to go. As I say, I got them from JS Koi Imports, went down to see Mark, did me a fantastic deal on those. Obviously you've seen the Bakki shower in one of the last videos, that came from JS Koi. It looks a fantastic bit of kit, the quality seems fantastic, but as I said in that video, we won't know until I plumb it in, which is what's happening today. Now what you didn't see in that video, but you might have seen a fair few months ago now, I ordered this from Daz at Skegness Pond Supplies, another shout out there. And yeah, so I'll spin you around again and show you what media I've got to go in it. So in here, it's not a full box, it's nearly a full box. There's probably about 20 or 30 pieces missing. Obviously one or two got damaged in transit, they're still usable though. You can see in the corner there, look, one's got a bit crusted, but get rid of the little tiny bits and then the main body of whatever's left will be absolutely fine. But yeah, I mean, they come to about here when they're all stood up, so you know, not probably about a quarter of the box was missing. So first job before I can plumb in the shower is get all this cleaned, because you don't want to put this type of media, just dump it in your bakki shower and turn your bakki shower on, because you'll find if I move a couple of these out of the way that it is very dusty, and as you can see down there in the box, and it's not dust like you'd expect. Obviously this is a ceramic media, so it's like sand and glass, which can annoy the fish. Obviously it will get taken out by the drum eventually, but you don't really want a shed load in your pond, that's for sure. So plan is, I'm going to dunk each bit and give it a good shake in my bucket. I'm then going to fill up the bottom tier with all of this. If there's any left, I'll start filling up the second tier as well, but I want to fill up the bottom tier mainly. Once it's all cleaned, pop it in there, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that down to the concrete path there, and then give it a damn good spray with the hose pipe as well, and that way I will get the majority of the sand and dust out. So I'm going to start cleaning this. I'll show you the plan. This is warm water at the minute, obviously there's no bacteria on there, so it doesn't matter that it's really hot water. It's hot water because it's a cold day and I don't want to freeze my hands off. But yeah, so all I'm going to do is just shake the water through the hole like so, and then I'll get another box or bucket to put these out to dry. Well, I suppose I could just pop them in the shower as I go, but yeah, that's the plan. Get all them washed and cleaned, get as much dust off as we can, so we can fill up the shower. So I'll snap back to you all in a bizzle. Right guys, well, that's one tier full, and I've almost used all of the box. I've got a little tiny bit left, which I'll then put in the second tier, which is here. That fits nicely on top of there. No crushing of media, so that's good. So yeah, I'll get these last few bits washed and in there as well, and then we'll start dismantling the old shower and putting on the new one. But yeah, again, all still looking good so far. Not as much dust in the box as I was expecting, but you can see in there, I don't know if you can see that, if it's focusing or not, but there's a fair bit of sand in there, not bucket loads, but it's better in that bucket than in the pond. So I'm sure more will fall off the shower into the pond, but at least now nowhere near as much. I'm going to get the rest of this cleaned and up into the second tier, and then I've got to try and lift these into place. People that don't know, obviously this is extremely porous media, so whilst the dust, whilst it's dry, it's extremely light. Once dunked in water, it's no longer extremely light. I mean, I could hold that for 10 minutes. I've had to fill this bucket up twice, because obviously all the water comes out with these medias, but it holds an awful lot of water, which is good for bacteria, bad for carrying wet media. So yeah, I'll get these last few washed and I'll snap back to you. Right guys, so just wanted to show you what I meant. Obviously this is the last one now, the box is empty, but I'll put a dry one on there. You've probably seen this in other videos, but that weighs 2.9 ounces. Why are we on ounces? We don't want to be on ounces, nobody knows ounces. There we go. Grams, 83 grams, 82 grams, 82 to 83 grams. It's settled on 83, so we say 83 grams. Now we give it a clean into a bucket, get as much of the sand and whatnot off as we can and the dust. Now, as you can see, I'm giving it a good shake out, no cheating it, make sure we get as much water out as physically possible, which is what I've been doing. And now we pop it on the scales again, and it's pretty much doubled in weight. And you can see there how slow it takes for the water to run out, and that's a real good thing for media. You'll notice as well, to fill in gaps, I've got the odd broken one, Now they weren't broken in the box. I decided to break a couple, and just to demonstrate, the best way I found to break them is wet them first, like this one is, and then whatever you're washing them in, or any hard surface that's relatively thin, just crack it on the surface, and voila. And give it another quick rinse, and the other half, just to shake off any loose sand that we've just split. And then you can fill gaps with broken ones. But yeah, different people say different things. I've seen a lot of people lay them nice and symmetrical like that, and most people just chuck them in like I've done with that one. And the reason for chucking them in, that is more important on the top tiers, because you don't want water tracking in one direction. It's not so bad on the very bottom of the last tier, because if the water's already tracking, it's already tracked. So wherever you put the ones on at the very bottom, right in the bottom line of the bottom tray, that one's obviously the bottom tray, but you know what I mean, because the water's already tracked by that point. But if you line them up all symmetrically nice at the top, water will start to find a set way, and obviously you don't want that. So the reason you scatter them random, if the water starts trickling down that one, hits the next one, it's some's going to go back down that one, some's going to go back down that one. So it just keeps splitting the water up as it tracks. Like if any water comes here, these are both slanting this way, so most of the water is going to track in that direction, but obviously it's touching that one. So you know, yeah, near the top always scatter them up, definitely. Near the bottom, not too fussed, because if the water's already tracking, it's already done it by then, so it doesn't matter if water's heading in one direction by the time it gets to the bottom, because it's too late by then. Right, so I'm now going to try and carry these. I might have to wait till they dry a little bit, because that one is extremely heavy, but carry them down to the path down there and give them a good jet with the hose pipe. I'm not going to make you watch that, because I'm pretty sure you all know what me getting wet looks like. Snap back to you all in a bizzle. Right, they've all been blasted with a hose pipe. As you can see, all the water's running off, so that's good, and they'll continue to dry out there, so I can lift them into place a bit easier. But yeah, they didn't dry out as much as I thought they had. I'm a bit wet, and that wasn't from the hose pipe, that was carrying it up here. So yeah, never mind, I'll dry out. The sun's actually out today, which makes a nice change. So yeah, next job, turn this off and start dismantling it and getting all the media out. So easy way to turn it off and leave the pond running is every line I've got on this pond has got a ball valve on it. You have to excuse the old cobwebs, can't reach from that way. Tell you what, if I put the phone around that way, turn that, I'm pretty sure that's the shower line. We'll find out in a second. Yeah, water stopped flowing at the top. Just coming, last bit's coming through the middle into the bottom section, and as you can see, the shower is slowly coming to a stop. But yeah, it just goes to show how much media is in there for it to keep trickling like that. Yeah, all that is the new one. Look at how friendly he is. Hello, buddy. He's always the first one over. I ain't got any food in my hands, I'm sorry. Sorry. I'll feed you by the end of this video. Yeah, he's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then here comes the rest of them. Hello everybody. Anyway, shower's off. Let's start taking it apart. Right guys, so I've taken the bricks off the lid to keep the lid off. For those of you that, stick that over the back. For those of you that haven't seen my Bakki shower, as I say, bog standard, literally hose just splashing in the top there. This is a bag of activated carbon, that needs a damn good clean and a dry out. But yeah, and then this worked as my drip tray, so it's literally just about an inch standard tray full of holes. As you can see, loads of bugs up here, but yeah, just a thin tray full of holes, and that was basically my spray bar, and that spread the water evenly over all the media. So if I just move these two mind your own businesses that were sat up here, they've done really well, they have, considering one of them was pretty much dead. Right, a fair bit of water's probably going to come out of this pipe because it's still full up, so we'll just let that go down there. Actually hardly any water come out at all, that's a bonus. Oh, that's where I store my brushes up and my nets. Yeah, so we'll take off the spray bar, and then in the top there you've got foam that catches. Oh, that needed a clean out as well, not too bad. Oh, pond snail. When on earth did I get pond snails back in here? The pond snails are all, they're pretty damn big as well, they're all in the Japanese garden pond, the nature pond. But obviously birds have brought them into here, either that or they've made their own blooming way during all the rain. Yeah, I'll put them back in the anymore, not that I can see in the top tier. But yeah, then we've got shed loads of alpha grog under the foam. Get the foam out of the way. Oh, loads of snails, more snails. Manky foam. Jump that behind me. So yeah guys, as you can see in here I've literally got a bit of everything. Got alpha grog, got old ceramic media that come out of aquarium filters, got some lava rock, got some, no, that's more lava rock. There is some pumice in here somewhere. Can't see any pumice near the top. Right, but I've got lava rock, pumice, and Biohome Ultimate, which I'll talk to you about Biohome Ultimate in a little while. But now all I can see in the top one is the lava rock and alpha grog and ceramic media. So yeah, I'm going to get these tiers dismantled and then we can have another look. So yeah, there's the top tier, obviously we were just looking at, with a little bit of mind your own business growing out of that. This was the middle tier, just leftover foams that I've chopped up and, you know, from projects I've done, bits that were left over, chucked in the top there. This is the Biohome Ultimate. This is the Biohome Ultra. And this is just standard Biohome. But yeah, that's one of the most porous medias you can get, really. But yeah, you've still got some lava rock and pumice in this layer, as well as some foams, bag of oyster shells, and probably other bits and bobs, to be honest. But yeah, fair bit of media in there. And the reason I've started recording again before fully taking it apart is get a load of this, guys. They always say bugs in your filters is a sign of a healthy pond. The media in this, I'll squeeze back in, is literally moving. Look at it. It's like thick layers of bugs. And on the weir plate, look. Absolutely thick of bugs. So yeah, this is going to need a good clean before going in the new one. But yeah, on the weir plate, look, absolutely millions of it, millions and millions. They're all following the water, dripping in the pond. The fish are loving it. But yeah, I will get this cleaned out and snap back to you. Obviously loads more Biohome in here, loads more pumice, loads more lava rock, all sorts of bits and bobs again in this one. So yeah, I'll get this one drained of water a bit, give the fish some bugs, and then snap back to you. Right guys, that's the bottom tier now all rinsed and put in on top of the CSM. That was the tray with just a little bit of CSM media in the bottom. I've also rinsed my oyster shell bag and popped that in there as well. Obviously that tray is still great. This is the big lump of mind your own business that was on the side of the Bakki shower, but it's kind of matted itself into to that bit of sponge, so I've got to chop them roots back, and I've still got that little bit left in there. But this is the this was the middle tier, so I've now just got to empty as much of that as I can in there, and then whatever's left from these two trays will then go in the top tier. So I'll get that done, and we'll start putting the new one up. Snap back to you in a second. Right then guys, I think I'm there. Rain stopped play a bit, you can probably tell by the garden. It's just stopped raining, the sun's just starting to come back out. But yeah, it's up. It certainly blends in a lot better than the manky old boxes, although that has done me well for a good 5-6 years. But yeah, we're about to do the old moment of truth. Turn it on and see what happens. Because of the copings on the pond, because of the height that the Bakki shower was to the water, I've had to, just for now as a temporary solution, put a bit of scaffolding board under it. Yeah, let me show you, it's easier to explain. So yeah, bit of old scaffolding board underneath that. You can see it's screwed in. It's got 3 screws on this side, 3 screws in the middle and 3 screws on the other side. That has made that part uber solid and stable, but because of the copings and everything, this isn't perfectly straight. You can probably tell. And it's got a bit of a lean to it, and also a little bit, not, you know, it's not going anywhere, but in a massive storm there is a possibility. So I am going to secure it to the pergola as a temporary for now, until I work out something better. But yeah, so media's in. Top tray's literally just full up of the alpha grog that was in the top. This one obviously is the little bag of carbon that's in there. I did drop a tiny bit of Biohome Ultimate kicking about somewhere down on the floor, so if I find that, that'll just have to be chucked in the top. Right, so obviously the valve is down here, this one in the corner that you can see here. And then what I'm going to do though, I'm going to twist that while you guys are watching the shower, and we'll see how we get on. Sorry about some. I'll hold you guys up there. That's not fully open. It's about a third open, maybe halfway. But we have water coming out there. Pipe seems pretty secure. Water's trickling out of there. And the scaffolding board has obviously made that not perfectly level, but be pretty darn close. There's, I think it's because there's a metal bracket just under this side, which is probably why it's made it ever so slightly wobbly and ever so slightly not level, but only by a tiny bit. Right, let's open her up fully. Obviously I've got the pump still on relatively low at the minute anyway, but could certainly crank it up a bit now. Let me pause you here guys, everything seems to be looking good. I've put my bit of mind your own business, the bigger bit, back in the front there. I'll find a little hole for the little bit a bit later. Might even chuck some all down the back, you know. Don't get as much sun down the back here, but good insulation for the Bakki shower, isn't it? Right, let me get round there and turn the pump up a bit. Right guys, so yeah, mine's the Oase Aquamax 1800 and it's currently at 83 watts, which is 45%. Now this bad boy obviously can go up to 18,000 litres an hour. According to the flow meters, it can go up to about 17,600. So Let's try 60% and see what we look like. Well, it could certainly do a bit more than that, couldn't it? Well, it's got to 70. Now it's starting to look like a spray bar. It's starting to actually spray rather than trickle. And this is why I went and, well, this is why I got the 1800 or 18,000 pump. Because I knew one day I would be getting one of these showers. Oh, let's crank it all the way up, and we can go down from there if we need to. There we go, 100%. Bear in mind that is not the full 18,000 litres an hour going through there. It's a shared pump with an in-pond return as well. So half of it is coming up there, and half of it is coming in, well, down there. It's easier to show you from the back. You saw it earlier. But yeah, down there. So it comes in underneath the Bakki shower, and that gives it a good flow round the pond. As you probably saw, those of you that have been with me a while, from the very early videos of when I first set this thing up. But yeah, not perfectly level. Obviously I need to do something better than a scaffolding board, but I really didn't want it any lower to the water than what it is now. When it was sat on the copings, it was literally a couple of mil off the water. I know the water's quite high at the minute because of the rain we keep getting. It needs to go down by another centimetre really, but even then I think that's a good fall into the water. It's a hell of a lot quieter than the old one was. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I just need to level it off, get a better thing for it to sit on, whether I make something or I don't know, but yeah, something better for it to sit on. That's the one advantage of having flexi pipe. Is so underrated, or at least the good stuff. The cheap stuff, yeah, goes brittle over time, can crack and split, and basically all the stuff that I've got on that little pond down there, all the cheap stuff. But the flexi hose on this stuff, I mean the bit I've just cut off so I can get the pump in. And I've got an offcut now, so I'll demonstrate at some point that you can actually solvent weld this stuff. But yeah, I mean it's not nowhere near as ribbed as what the cheap stuff is. It's a lot smoother. I don't know if I can get it to focus. Yeah, it's very lightly ribbed, but not like the other stuff. And the inside is actually smooth, although it looks ribbed. It's actually smooth in there. No ribs at all. That's my nail going over it. Can't hear nothing yet. You can hear it slightly there, but on the inside, smooth. So the water obviously can flow a lot better in there, and the reason why I've kept it and done it is the amount of extra 90s and 45s and whatnot I would have needed to get it from there back near the fence to here near the pond, or because if I followed the back of the fence I won't be able to walk down here because there is not much of a gap between that and that. If there was a big pipe sticking there I wouldn't have nowhere to put my feet, so it would have had to come this side. It would have had to go round the skimmer line, then another 90 or 245s up there, and then, you know, bend in and over and get it into there with 45s and 90s. Whereas this one flexi hose, it literally just curls ever so slightly, a nice long straight under the floor, and then a gradual curl up and in. No 90s, no 45s, just gradual curls. So you actually get a 10 times better flow. 10 times better flow out of a flexi pipe like this than you do out of solvent weld pipe, because as I say, I'd have needed, what, maybe 3 or 4 90s and a couple of 45s, or 3 or 4 45s and a couple of 90s, either way. And all I've got is a couple of very slight curves, so gives a much better flow, less resistance from the water. But yeah, anyway, all seems to be working. Obviously with the pump up to full like that, the drum is going to clean a lot quicker, because it's set for every hour at the minute, and it went off 10 minutes ago, and it's just gone off again now. So it's probably just pulling all the rest of the crud off the bottom of the pond, and there's probably bits coming out of the shower. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot quieter, so yeah, thoughts. From what I can see, let me spin you around again. From what I can see, sorry about the glare, let me see if I can shade you there, there you go. Yeah, from what I can see so far, it's a real nice bit of kit. Obviously I've told you a couple of times, but this is from JS Koi, just so we can get out of the glare, there we go. Yeah, from JS Koi. It come with everything you saw me unbox in my last video. The only parts I needed is everything after the spray bar. So my rubber 90, and then my little device that I do to attach a flexi to a rubber. But yeah, so you get your weir, your 3 tiers, your lid. Well, I must get the lid down, it's currently up there at the minute. Your 3 tiers, your lid, your weir plate and your spray bar. I mean, it looks a pretty good bit of kit. It is pretty sturdy. It could be slightly sturdier in the middle because of all the media that I've put in. There is an ever so slight bow to the front and the back, but out of everything, that's the only thing I can be even slightly negative about. I mean, it's as you can see, working an absolute treat. Yeah, I can't really say a bad word about it, other than a middle brace support. I've seen that in other showers, but that would then stop any bows from the middle, because that could end up putting an awful lot of strain on it over time. No, only time will tell. But yeah, got it from JS Koi, done me a cracking deal. The links, as always, are in the description. Lovely shower, almost finished the pond now. That's the last bit of equipment I needed. Just got to get the electric sorted and sort out these bamboos. The only reason I haven't started yet is because I'm still trying to work out the best way to attach them the way I want to attach them. I've got an idea. I just need to see if I've got two things. Let me spin you around again. 2 things that I pinched off a old sofa that was being thrown out, basically, and I think they're going to work a treat, but I need 6 of them, so I need to see if I can find them in a hardware or DIY store or something similar, because I'm not very good at welding and I don't have a welder, otherwise I could make some. But yeah, before we sign off, let's see if the koi are hungry. I mean, that's taken me the best part of the afternoon, so I'm sure they... Ooh, sorry, trying to open the food tub whilst talking to you guys. Yeah, let's see if they'll come over this end. They're all very interested in the new shower. Spin you around. The sun's in absolutely the wrong place. It's going to be glare central. Let me come around this side. And I can hold you over the pond this way. still eating a good one. Having the shower off all afternoon hasn't obviously bothered them too much. Poor fishies, they're doing through some stuff this year, aren't they? But that's the last thing I need to do to this pond to disturb them, as long as we don't get any more issues with things coming in this water. But yeah, I showed you earlier, or in the previous video, the Bunny Kikikuru, this one here, his face and nose that was all burnt up. Took a through some, hello, no Chagoi. But yeah, look how well that's healed up. Look. As I said, it's the only one that's still acting a little bit strange is the Soragoi, and as you can see there, he's just clamped it again. This fin is always out, there's one facing us, but the one on the other side of him is always swimming around with a clamped fin, and I can't work out what it is. Could be temperature related, but I don't know. It's started since the chemical went in the water, and it ain't stopped. But yeah. There appears Larry. Right, I'm going to go feed the fry and feed the guys in the net as well. Get packed away. Oh, put the lid on the Bakki shower because that's splashing a good one. Absolutely covered in rain. But yeah, work out how I'm going to fix this temporarily to the pergola, so it can't be blown over, because we have had some quite vicious storms lately, and then work out at a later date how I'm going to prevent it ever wobbling or whatnot. So yeah, that's the JS Koi Bakki shower. Looks like a fantastic bit of kit. This video is probably going to be a long one. I'll do some editing, see if I can shorten it down a bit. But yeah, thanks all for watching, guys, and we'll catch you all on the next one.